Good day, internet people. How are y'all? Got a bit of a change of pace here today. Now, some of you who've come across this video through searching for this particular piece of equipment will be quite familiar with it. Others who maybe watch my channel occasionally won't, or possibly won't. This is a Commodore Amiga computer system, and it's quite old. I think it's about 20 years old now. This was my second computer I ever bought, the first being a Sony Hitbit, or an MSX Sony Hitbit. That's another story, I'll leave that for now. The Commodores, a lot of people will remember the Commodore 64. The Amiga superseded the Commodore 64, and they had a range of computers, 1000, 2000, 500, 500 plus, etc. And after the 500 plus, or well, you can look up on Wikipedia the actual timeline of the release of the different models. But the A600 was somewhere in the middle, yeah. Now, like I say, this computer is 20 years old. It's October 2017 now, and I've only just found out that there's been some very nice expansions made for this old computer, and I'm toying with the idea to clean it up and maybe expand it somewhat and start using it again. Now, this is, although I want to explain something first before we begin. I bought the A600 brand new back in the 90s sometime. Now, I bought it out of a town called Inverness, and I remember it as a boxed bundle of games. Now, I wish I could remember the actual bundle title, but I do remember it came included with a game called Captain Planet and the Planeteers. Now, I don't think the game was up to much, if I remember correctly. I no longer possess it. The reason being, I sold that whole bundle. Now, a lot of people will be aware that the A600 when it was first purchased was about £395 or £399. Now, I paid full whack for it, okay? And then 6 months later the Amiga 1200 came out at the same price, and I was a bit disappointed. I still love the A600, don't get me wrong, but the 1200 is a better computer. Now, I managed to sell my Amiga 600, I believe, for about the £200 mark. And then I bought a second-hand A1200 for about £250. So, that's what I did. That was the situation. Now, so I've got an A1200 sitting up the stairs, and this one, I can't remember where I got this one from. I think I got given this for free, or if I didn't, because I don't think I would have bought it, but I think somebody was just chucking it out and they gave it away. So I got this completely free and gratis, and I've never really looked inside it. I've never done anything to it. I've used it once or twice. I've got the 1200, so what's the point of using this? I just wanted it for maybe some of the older games, because this computer runs on the enhanced chipset, yeah, that's ECS for short, yeah, and it's compatible with a lot of the older games that were coded for the A500 and A500 plus. Now, the A1200 is running on is it an advanced graphical adapter or something like that? It's the AGA chipset, and while it's got built-in compatibility control methods, so you can turn off the cache and such like, so that you can still run some of the older games. Occasionally you'll still encounter a game that it won't run, but this will. So that's the reason I've got this. But anyway, I only just dug this out today, and you can see the condition of it. It's manky. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it's very yellow. Also, the keyboard's gone very yellow, and I've seen videos on YouTube where you can what they call retrobrite it using a sort of peroxide for people's hair. I don't think I'm going to bother with it. I'll give it a good clean, maybe, you know. But one of the things in my initial examination is the ports here at the back. Look at the state of that. Just absolutely covered in rust. Now, inside this machine there is a what do they call it? An RF shield? I think it's just a sort of bit of tin basically to help cut down on radio frequency noise from interfering with the components of the computer. Now, I've like I say, never looked inside this machine, so I don't know what to expect. I'd imagine there's going to be spiders, cobwebs, and Christ knows what all else inside it. As you can see, it's not been looked after, but there seems to be a bit of a retro thing going on now in the Amiga scene. Well, you know, the Amiga scene is retro, I suppose, these days. You know, I loved the 8-bit and 16-bit computers back in the day, and you know, I was sad to leave the Amiga behind, because the Amiga is a more efficient design than a lot of PCs, but PCs just have the brute power there, you know, and because they became mainstream, a lot of you know, the prices came down, and a lot of software companies jumped ship from Amiga to the PC, and the Amiga just couldn't compete. You know, while the computer was maybe a little bit cheaper, software titles and hardware for like printers and disk drives and all the rest was extortionate. It was just, it didn't make sense to keep using the Amiga as far as I was concerned. And then with the increased funding and such like that the PC enjoyed, it quite quickly started developing better hardware, or more powerful hardware. I wouldn't say better. I think, was it the Amigas had, their technology was based on RISC or RISK, I can't remember, I think it was RISC. And the PC technology at the time was, excuse me, the PC technology was based on an older design, which wasn't as efficient. But that's obviously all been forgotten about now. Yeah, now, like I say, I've no idea how to get into this case. I know there's something to do with clips on the back here. I was watching a lad on the internet now doing the same thing as I'm doing, and he was literally into this machine in seconds. He lifts this up and he sort of pops it back out somehow. But I don't want, there we go, is that how we did it? It's maybe glued together with crap, I don't know. Okay, there seems to be a little something here catching it. The rest of it all seems to be quite loose now. That came apart not too bad. So there's something along here that's catching it. I think somebody's been in this machine before though, because the warranty sticker's void. It's been broken. Know that a warranty sticker is going to matter much after 20 years, and the company itself is defunct. But I'm going to lose these screws, of course. out for them. 3 in the front, was it? Yeah, there's 3 in the front. There's 1 on the side. And the 2 little ones at the back. Now, just give me a moment here while I struggle with this on my lap. Okay. See, this is things, I guess, is where you get frustrated, and then you try to force it and you break something. Then you wish you hadn't started. But I'm going to pause it here while I get a screwdriver. Hey, give me a moment, folks. Okay, and we're back. Right, not a screwdriver, but it's a hacksaw blade. I often use these old hacksaw blades as scrapers. You can see the teeth were well buggered there, look, you know, big chunks of it. So it wasn't really working very well, so as a hacksaw blade. But it can work as a little wee pry, look, very, very nicely. Right, okay. Oh my word, this isn't very nice at all. No. Right, in here, whoops, that was close. There's a little cable, that's for the LED lights up here. So that needs to be unplugged. Oops. Right, let me just do that now. And once that's done, the keyboard can just fold over the back. Here, look, like this. So, yeah, we've got a fair bit of corrosion here. This shielding is looking very nasty, as is the floppy disk drive actually. This is the hard drive caddy. Now, a lot of people didn't realise this, but the Amiga 600 can support a hard drive. But these days, what they do is they use this is the IDE slot here, or socket, and what they do is they plug a ribbon cable into that, which would then go to your IDE hard drive. But nowadays you can get a little wee circuit board which then works as an adapter. So the IDE to the adapter, and then you just plug in a 4 GB compact flash card. Now that means you've got, like, it's a solid state hard drive basically. You know, remember that these hard drives that were fitted to the Amiga 600 were 20 megabyte in size. 20 megabyte. That's not 20 gigabyte, folks. 20 megabytes. And they were ridiculously expensive. So you can put in a 4 gigabyte compact flash for, you know, a few pound now, and you've got massive storage. Remember, the file size on these computers is much smaller. You're not running the latest software on them, so the file size is quite negligible really. But anyway, moving on, let's see what else we can. I'm running out of time here already. I wasn't really planning on doing this today. I was just wanting to have a look to see what it was like. So I don't know if I should actually carry on. This video is really only just an introduction to the condition of the machine, and then I'll do a follow-up if I get around to cleaning it, you know, and using it. One of the things I'm aware of is I've got a memory expansion here by the looks of it. The Amiga, the 600 came with 1 megabyte as standard, so I don't know what it actually has in it. But I do know you can get different expansion boards for the 600, and there's a Viper 2 Mark It's a Viper 600 Mark II accelerator board, which comes with extra memory on it, and it boosts the speed of the 600 considerably, maybe 4 times faster than it would otherwise be, you know. So they're currently out of production, but they may be replaced with a Mark IV. But I'm playing with the idea of buying one, but they're expensive. I think they're about 300 quid, 200 or 300 quid anyway. And for an old machine like this, that's a lot of money. So I don't know if I will or not yet. Anyway, I'm blathering. I think I'll just leave it there, folks. I'm going to have a poke around inside here, and this video is long enough, and I don't know what I'll do about this rust though. I don't know how to get rid of that. I seen one guy, he had similar problems. The rust on his machine wasn't quite as far along as my machine is, but he had a little wire brush. It was almost like a pen, and he rubbed the loose rust off, and he just gave it a coat of WD-40. Another guy, he sprayed the back edge of the RF shield, because that's what's visible at the edges of the ports, which you saw earlier, and he just put down a layer of paint before painting it silver. And I was wondering, could you nickel plate this? You know, it's obviously got some sort of plating on it. So if this was cleaned up in a bath of vinegar or a ultrasonic bath, and then you went through the electroplating process, how would this turn out? It might turn out quite nice, but is that maybe being a bit OCD maybe, eh? So yeah, 17 minutes, folks. This is maybe a gigabyte in size already, this file, which is going to take me half an hour to an hour to process and upload. So I'll leave it there, and yeah, you can probably, over the winter time, you'll probably see a few more videos regarding this and computer stuff in general, rather than the sort of DIY machining sort of stuff that I've done in the past. So until next time, bye for now, and stay safe.